In the lead-up to the highly anticipated NCAA Women's Final Four championship basketball game between South Carolina and Iowa, South Carolina women's basketball coach Dawn Staley sparked a contentious debate by voicing her support for transgender athletes' inclusion in women's sports. Staley's remarks came during a press conference preceding the championship clash. Expressing her stance on the divisive issue, Staley asserted, "I'm of the opinion that if you're a woman, you should play. If you consider yourself a woman and you want to play sports, or vice versa, you should be able to play." This candid declaration underscored her belief in equal opportunities for all athletes, irrespective of gender identity. Staley's statement prompted further reflection on the matter when Iowa coach Lisa Bludder was later asked to share her perspective. Despite acknowledging the topic's significance, Bludder redirected attention to the imminent game, emphasizing her focus on her players and the forthcoming championship showdown. The controversy surrounding transgender participation in women's sports has garnered considerable attention from conservative factions and other stakeholders advocating against such inclusion. This sentiment was exemplified by a recent federal lawsuit filed by numerous current and former women's college athletes against the NCAA, alleging infringements on their rights through the allowance of transgender women to compete in women's sports. In response to the mounting discourse, various states have enacted legislation imposing blanket bans on transgender athletes' participation in K-12 and collegiate sports teams. However, the Biden administration aims to counter these prohibitions through a proposed rule, slated for finalization this year, which would deem such bans as violations of Title IX, a landmark gender equity statute enacted in 1972. Notably, the NCAA revised its policies on transgender athlete participation in 2022, seeking alignment with national sports governing bodies. The third phase of this revised policy, slated for implementation on August 1, incorporates standards set by national and international sports governing bodies. Staley, renowned for her advocacy for women's sports and distinguished coaching career, acknowledged the contentious nature of her stance and anticipated the ensuing reaction. Despite anticipating potential distractions, she affirmed her willingness to engage in the discourse, affirming, "So now the barnstormer people are going to flood my timeline and be a distraction to me on one of the biggest days of our game. And I'm okay with that. I really am."